it's Connie Erickson. Welcome to another Live at 5. And today I want to talk about apologies. For some reason, there were a lot of people apologizing in my office last week. So I got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let me tell you about a few of the not great ones. I heard this conversation. You really hurt my feelings. I said I was sorry. What more do you want? You said you're sorry, but you didn't really mean it. Then there was the woman who was hurt by the comments of her partner and demanded an apology for 3 days. Not surprising, neither party felt much better when the apology was finally rendered. Then there was the I'm sorry I hurt you, but I think you're making a big deal over it. I'm pretty sure that guy was not getting a lot of affection after that apology. So, what are these people doing wrong, and how do you give an effective apology? So, an effective apology has several key elements, and they are taking full responsibility for your own words and actions, expressing remorse, acknowledging the impact of your words and or actions on the other person, and expressing your commitment to prevent this in the future. That's four. In the first example, I said I'm sorry. What more do you want? This guy really was sorry, but the reason that it was perceived as insincere was because he failed to acknowledge the other person's pain. He might have known it in his head, but he didn't express it to his partner. In order for someone to really believe your apology, they must feel like you get it. Here are some examples. Good examples. I'm sorry I yelled at you. It really hurt your feelings and made you feel like I don't care about your opinion. Or, I'm sorry I was talking to that guy for so long at the party. Even though I didn't feel like it was a big deal, it really hurt your feelings. You felt upset and embarrassed. I'm sorry. Both of these are examples of good apologies, likely to be perceived as sincere because the speaker takes full responsibility for their actions and acknowledges the impact on their partner. Notice neither got defensive, nor did they blame the other person. They didn't say, I'm sorry I yelled at you, but you made me so mad, or I'm sorry I was flirting, but I was drunk. No, they took full responsibility. These apologies are also good because they clearly acknowledge their partner's feelings. It's not about whether you think it's a big deal. This is about how your partner feels. For example, I'm sorry I stayed out so late without calling you. Even though I didn't think it was a big deal, I see how it hurt you. You felt disrespected, and I'm sorry for that. If you don't agree with the magnitude, you can try to agree on a plan for next time if this situation comes up. Like, let's assume next time that I'll be out until midnight when I go out with my friends, and I'll call you if I'll be later. In addition to taking responsibility, expressing remorse, and acknowledging your partner's feelings, in order for the apology to be effective, the receiver has to believe that you're going to try not to do it again. If you apologize for yelling, but to continue to just keep yelling, your apology isn't effective. So a good apology mentions the intention and or a plan for the future. It can be a plan to make amends or restitution, like, I'm sorry I forgot to do the dishes. How about I do them for the rest of the week to make it up to you? Or it can be a plan to prevent the problem from happening again. I'm sorry I yelled at you. I'll be more mindful of my tone and my volume in the future. It deserves repeating. An effective apology has four key elements: taking full responsibility for your words and actions, expressing remorse, acknowledging the impact of your words or actions on the other person, and four, expressing your commitment to prevent this in the future. Lastly, I just want to say a few words about receiving an apology. It's not effective to demand an apology. It's just not, no matter how much you feel like you deserve one. It's like telling your toddler, you don't get your toy back until you tell your sister you're sorry for punching her. Sorry. Does anyone think that kid is actually remorseful? No. As the hurt partner, you can express your hurt feelings. You can even ask for an apology once, and that's it. You can tell your partner that you don't think you'll be able to get over it until they understand your feelings or commit to fixing it. but demanding an apology just doesn't work. If and when you do get an apology from your partner, whether you've asked for it or not, be gracious. It really helps. Once an apology is accepted, don't bring up the offense again and again in the heat of an argument. It would also be helpful if you too took full responsibility for any part that you had in the incident, such as, I'm sorry I yelled too. I wish I hadn't forced the issue. I wish I had given you more time to think about it. Owning your part goes a long way towards building emotional equity in your emotional bank account. I hope this is helpful. Drop a comment. Tell me how an apology has gone a long way in your relationship, or maybe how you're going to give your next apology that you've been putting off for a long time. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next week.